Oh, my bad. Hello, everybody. Hey, Dr. Nick. Look, got a little gang stalker. Dracula. Flash. Anyways, um, I really like when I have dreams, especially newer dreams that I've been having, but I can't really remember this dream. All I remember in this dream was I thought it was funny for two reasons, but because there was like, I don't know why, but there was like these big demons running around everywhere, and people were like running like, ah, and they were like running. And for some reason, like I was running too, I was hiding like instead of like battling them and stuff. I didn't think of battling them at the time because in the dream it was like these things were huge. It's not like in like superhero movies where they can just start flying and doing it. For in this specific dream, these demons were just running like. Tsh, tsh, tsh. I was like, what the fuck? And I can't remember most of the dream, just that like there was these big demons running around. And then I woke up and saw that Europe is going mad again with the racists everywhere. It's funny, quite symbolic. But no, that's actually what I wanted to. Predominantly, that's what I want to talk about. Making sure you're okay, you're safe, and I told you all thinking for yourselves and not letting the media destroy you. Because for some reason, I've just been seeing a lot more about Nazis in Ukraine, and I've been doing a lot of research on like German history and Viking history and barbarian history and just European history. And I'm trying to tell you guys that there's like some kind of weird Nazi stuff going on. I'm just being honest. Not trying to start no fiery movements, but for a long time I couldn't understand why Russia and China didn't want nothing to do with the EU. And the more research I do, it's like, what is really going on, dude? Because what's really funny is, like I've said before, the BBC did a news story about there being Nazis 10 years ago. Then when Putin started to deal with the problem, oh, something else I'm seeing. It's like I'm not trying to say my videos are prophetic, but Israel got stopped. Then all of a sudden, all these Israeli prophets and rabbis are coming out talking about we need to continue the war, we need to continue the war, and now they're doing a huge invasion again. Israel can't get enough, man. They like being in the middle of stupidity. So y'all call me anti-Semitic if you want. I don't really give a shit at this point. Y'all have been anti-black African something for a long time, and it's apparent to me now. Like I told people when I was growing up, I was kind of like blinded or whitewashed. We had the Mister Rogers and the little lamb chops and all the little white TV shows. Now, this isn't one of those anti-European, anti-white. I told you I love all people, but if we're gonna talk about oppression and stuff going on in the world and not talk about like people of Africa and African Americans being decimated, then it wouldn't really be fair. I told people in a lot of my comments and in different videos, I can't just hate Europeans and Caucasians. That's just not. I'm not gonna. They're gonna come up to me and be like, "Oh, I hate you because you're no." But as you can see from many different videos, statistics, and things that I've brought up, African Americans have been brutalized, and so have a lot of people in Africa. You know what I mean? There are a lot of different places in Africa that have been affected by Europe, and so I'm not just gonna go around like Farrakhan is saying white people are the devil or Europeans are devils and stuff. But the institution of Europe has been doing demonic, devilish shit for a long time and not seeming to want to accept accountability on a large scale. Now, the reason I say large scale is because there are a lot of Caucasians I see coming out advocating, but they seem to get crushed just like African Americans, you know what I mean? So that shit's gonna stop. When I say it's gonna stop, I don't, people can do whatever they want. So if you all want to continue to look like dumbasses, because I was watching an interview from the 70s or something like that, and this really pale dude with glasses who just was really egotistical and talking to this African American psychologist. He seemed like he had the power at the time, right? Like he was big and bad. But now as I watch it and people in the comments watch it, obviously, it's like a psychological case study for people who are unaware and can't see through racism and elitism. And so while he may have seemed to have the power right then and there, like I've said many of my videos, later on he will be made an ass in a psychological case study. You see what I'm saying? And that's happening for a lot of people in these religious videos and religious cosplay and lores. You guys know what these religions have done for thousands of years, and y'all still boldly on camera do what some of these people did in this book. Do what some of these people did thousands of years ago. Argue and fight over perpetual stupidity and concepts that don't really matter versus actually fixing the world. um, I've noticed, as I told people, I brought up a lot of different concepts. But once I started going towards Europe and America and what they have done and how they've oppressed African Americans and people of indigenous nations, they started destroying my character. So that's when I realized that's really the truth. It's about real world oppression. They've been oppressing people for a long time and trying to get people to fight in concepts like religion and racism and whose race is the best, and all this stuff. First of all, why would you all care what color your future descendants are? I don't understand that concept. I'm seeing a lot of people saying we need to defend the whiteness. Like, do you guys not realize the detriment that Europe and America is in, and how they're running low on resources, and how the world's waking up and not continuing to plan their stupid little concepts like corporate elitism, fascist government, and racism? I still cannot understand how racism is an actual concept that people fight over. Like, out of any attribute a person could have, skin color, and as have many doctors have told you all, it is getting warmer and warmer and hotter and hotter. And the reason I say that is because with science they've proven that something's happened to the atmosphere and the sun is enlarging as it goes into its phases as a star. This is why I want to say people are stupid. They want to preserve their future descendants, but they want to be white forever. Now, knowing what we know about science and how the climate changes, because listen, I sat here and heard these people in some Trump training videos or Republican training videos talk about how Democrats will use things like climate control and use concepts to say climate control isn't real. And then she said, let's talk about real science. The Democrats are destroying the world. So climate control isn't real, but the Democrats are destroying the world. People are just talking in crazy land. I'm telling y'all, when you pay attention for yourself, then you start to see. And you start to understand. That's why I'm gonna honestly say something real quick, but I don't necessarily like going this book. When it says stuff like people say the Christ is here and the Christ is there, the reason they're false prophets is because the Christ is within. That's why I tell you all, if people come up to me and say, are you the Christ? I'm like, okay, I'll be the Christ, but you're God. Think about that. Now you have the ultimate power. If somebody comes up to you and says they're the Christ, they have all the way and the knowledge, say, what did I do under the fig tree? How many husbands or wives have I had? And they'll look at you dumb, like, I don't know that. Duh. Because I am spirit, right? So I am within. And if these major corporations and religions had billions of people knowing that the spirit is within, and they were taught righteously and baptized righteously, there wouldn't be all this no drama still existing. There wouldn't be all this elitism and sexism. People will go up to each other and be like, oh, you're a part of humanity too? We're the God. Boom. Now, there's no more, oh, my culture's better because we're all the same. There's no more, there may be different cultures and stuff like that, and people may do ignorant things and other people may do wise things. But then as humanity, we shouldn't just say, oh, that's my culture, we should go with the ignorance. We should be like, okay, we should build and learn and grow. But if you care about preserving your descendants and you're Caucasian, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to mix. Not having melanin is not a deficiency, but in terms of dealing with the sun and your own home planet, it is for survival. So not wanting to mix, but wanting to preserve your descendants is like the dumbest shit I ever heard. Because I'm telling you, with survival, Darwin, survival of the fittest, all this other stuff about survival in nature, I'm telling you that people with melanin turn sunlights into vitamin D. And the people that don't want to mix, but talk about preserving their descendants, are complete idiots and morons. It doesn't make sense. In a world in the jungle where things don't take on genetic prosperity and lose to the elements, they begin to fade off. Not because they're weaker, but because their design, when based on survival and the elements, is not proper for the environment. I'll give you an example. Europe was home for a lot of people, but then they ventured down and came south. Why? If you do research on the plagues in Europe, the diseases in Europe, the lack of survival in Europe, people were struggling. All this crops and stuff that you see in these warmer climates, there was really only barely meat, and a lot of raw and rotten meat was being eaten. People used salts and stuff, and they would make like porridges and stews and stuff. And they barely have potatoes, and those one things that look like potatoes but are like a reddish color. I don't want to say sweet potatoes, but I did a lot of research on different civilizations. And so, I'm starting to hear people say that Africa didn't really believe in gods. I don't want to say they didn't believe in gods, but what I'm saying is it seems like they respected the gods differently than now. When I look at the laws in Egypt and ancient Kemet and a lot of these other places, it seems different than how people worship gods now. There may have been oppression and stuff. I wasn't there. I just have what history tells us, and a lot of times the winners write history, and so all I can know is what I see for myself. And for myself, the house of bondage is corporate America and European religion. I will never understand how you guys are calling yourselves a republic, but calling other countries socialists. A republic is for the Commonwealth. A socialist country tries to make sure the whole society, a socialism, is taken care of. Like tax, there would be like too many taxes and government programs. That's what America is, dude. How do you think you have roads? Did any of you go out there and pay for the road? A percentage of your taxes pay for it. But now in this day and age, they're going back towards the British forefathers, if you catch my drift. Because these taxes and this inflation is ridiculous. It's like a monarchy, but instead of kings, it's corporate CEOs and stuff. But I don't know, man. I'm seeing just a lot of stupidity in the world, and as I told people before, you can really follow along with it, or you can be set apart and live your life. Because I'm telling you, don't think because you are sons of Ham, because I'm black, I'm just some righteous blah blah blah. And I'm telling you, if y'all don't have that book for an example, don't say because you're sons of Japheth and the Pope and Ashkenaz and Sephardia, if y'all don't have examples from that book. So, I keep hearing people in the Jewish community say, "Where's the Messiah? He's coming. He's down to earth." I don't know how many more languages to tell you these people in JB6, Yahweh. I don't like saying Yahweh because when I say that, people look at me and just like do the same thing they did to a man in the book. So I will say my English name, JB, or my English name, Juannie. So, which Juannie really wouldn't be an English name. I don't even, because, see, that's what I mean. So many things are mixed together that then when we try to usurp cultures and stuff, we really don't even know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, let's say R. Kelly. Let's say in about however many years, maybe in like 500 years, people find his music and go, oh, he was the anointed one because his beautiful sounds. And they put him in prison because he was a part of the Africa. See, we don't know. And they would be glorifying something they have no idea about. And so, you know what I mean? That's what I just said. It's good to stand on the stone that you're on instead of fishing for the past all the time and go forward. So when I say Mashiach, I'm just here to teach people with guidance a lot of different things, like spiritual things. I'm not really if I talk to people about finances, I'm not dealing with all those little stupid, foolish laws and cryptos and bitcoins and how to invest in this company. I don't do all that shit. I can teach you proper lifestyles that could lead to proper investments. Like, first of all, inflation is a joke to me. And to blame civilization for inflation is silly to me. To blame a president, the Senate and the Congress, whatever the fuck y'all want to call them, create the laws. The judicial system carries them out. Or however you guys want. I don't. So, and then the corporations who basically pay for the Senate and pay for all these rallies and all this campaigning and stuff, they're the ones that get their way with the laws. African Americans, all these immigrants are coming to Chicago. They're not looking out for us. This, not in our land, not in our land. Y'all sound like the white supremacists. I don't give a fuck what culture you think you're in. Oh, the diaspora. Oh, the Democrats, the Demo. I don't give a fuck if you're that one dude who's just so pro-diaspora but attacking Democrats. It's all the same shit. That one guy who is just so into arts. Oh, you're a tether if you don't vote. What country y'all from? You vote and vote and vote. They have videos talking about this. Every 4 years they do this. The biggest time in America. The biggest time in America. Oh, it's all going to explode. Oh, run up on your Senate and your blah, 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 blah. You go to these government buildings and they're going to treat your fucking life. I'm telling you all this because I fucking live in America. I don't know if these people are fictional characters on fucking the human verse or whatever y'all want to fucking call it, the metaverse. But as a real fucking African American, it's hard to get a freaking job. It's hard to go to freaking school. I don't know why these Asians fucked with affirmative action. But do I hate Asians? No. But that shit pissed me the fuck off. And I don't know why affirmative action only seems to help white women. All of that, the 1% of 44 million African Americans in different towns and cities or wherever else, they go, I have a job. I'm a star. R. Kelly did it. Bill Cosby did it. I'm sick of hearing the fucking shit. The rest of your brothers and sisters are drowning in quicksand, so to speak. And y'all need to wake the fuck up. Because everybody in casual conversations, YT, Africa, pro-Africa. But as soon as they fucking job or paycheck start to get touched, shit. They'll go back in the house real quick if you catch my drift. There's very few people who are faithful and true. When I say that, I'm not teaching people to go quit their job or start stances or start. I'm just saying people love to blah, 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 blah when they drink and have fun around other people. But then when it comes to the real fucking world, they fall in line real quick. So I don't know how else to explain this. That's why I don't come up to let people, oh, the black community, we're the, oh, the white community, we're the, oh, the Asian community, the Hispanics. If you haven't learned by now, you build up what you have. Stop attacking everybody else, because all of you lovely Hispanics that are just so Republican now, if you was to for some reason have everything fall apart and have to go back to that country, I bet you wouldn't hate immigrants so much. All of you African Americans, you see all these Africans coming over here, right? So what I'm saying with our intellect is, let's do something that helps us in our community, but also includes. Because what does it profit as 44 million people to continually go up to, whenever I see Caucasians doing stuff to try to be African American or whatever y'all want to call it, because that, to me, they're just living, but obviously they're getting it from a certain community. But whenever I see that, I don't think in my mind, oh, go attack them. Oh, jealous. Oh. Now, if they want to act the ass with it or be racist, okay. But to me, they the ally. They at least trying. You see what I'm saying? They could be on a farm somewhere saying, stay off my fucking lawn. But they're trying to listen to the music. They're trying to dress the part. They're trying to, yeah, when people act stupid, they get exposed. But what I'm saying is, with all the hatred in the air, let's try love. We've had 6,000 years of hatred, war, and many years before that. Maybe we should try something different. People keep saying, oh, we tried it and they destroyed us. Okay. Though that's the 30s and the 40s, we are 2024. Let's use the intellect we have now to do what it do. I'm seeing many people come out and speak up on Europe. Okay. But then if Europeans or Caucasians come up and try to talk to you, does that mean you have to, you're not a part of our tribe, you're not a... They're trying to join along. So I can't tell y'all what to do after what has happened to us for all these years. I mean, it is what it is. But if you are able to find love and are able to be a better person, do what it do. Because the more I see Israel attacking these Palestinians, man, y'all are going to unlock a fire in me. Y'all are going to unlock a rage that might fuck around and have me actually use my birthright and go to Israel and then talk about y'all a bunch on the streets. But I'm just speaking in terms of me trying my hardest to not kick set something or not set something off. Because honestly, I've just been on YouTube and some of these. But if I was to really go out here, because I wish a month after what these Protestants and evangelicals and Jehovah's Witnesses and the buildings and institutions they started, who could say anything to me about trying to help other people, no matter how I do it? You know what I mean? So if you don't believe me, look at T.D. Jakes. Look at this man and how he preaches. And really, I'll give Farrakhan shout-outs, but also have things against Farrakhan. Look at Farrakhan too. Okay, they just so pro-black and they so pro the movement. And yeah, Farrakhan has talked about, the injustice and all that and everything else. But why is it that all these other people get murdered, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and all these other people, but he's safe somewhere? Why is it that T.D. Jakes got all this money, but he's safe somewhere? Because sometimes when people give the truth, they also bring along cosplay and confusion. TD Jakes can give some good sermons, but that dude is in it for the money. Farrakhan gave some good sermons and he fought for most of his life and did what he do, but at the same time, he was making good money doing that thing. So the reason I'm bringing this up with TD Jakes and Farrakhan is because they both are begging for a black Messiah or a black African something. I think they are. And I come through and they people, them and everybody, the Israelites, everybody, they just, whenever you see me making videos talking about black Hebrew Israelites, the Jewish community in Israel and Judah and all that stuff, why do you think that is? I've been out talking to people for about 3-4 years, but before that, almost all my life telling people about the silliness and the cosplay of Christianity and Jesus and all this other stuff, and been paying for it all my life. But all these motherfuckers who are harboring my name from a book, who doesn't have Jehovah or Yahweh? And people say your name, y'all just don't get it yet. So I'm done talking, but I'm going to just speak. And anybody who mocks me will be given over to what they seek. So the people whose name it is, one killed and one poor being ridiculed. Then the people who are full of fucking its, no allegiance to this name, I know ye not, besides the fucking media attention and mountains you've built on in my world. And y'all are the big names. Go take, you know what's funny? Go take the biggest fucking names in religion. And I'll go up to each of them and tell them, I am who I am. I am that which is the living one. I am Yahweh. No, even better, I'll say, I am who I am. I am the living one. I am that which is. I am the living one here to reclaim my throne. I am JB. And I'll even say JB6. Not only will they not understand JB, but they won't understand why the 6 is there. Then in a book that'll say, he's John the Baptist resurrected, he'll show them Elijah, Yehohanan, and Amos on the Mount, right? I'll give them all this proof of evidence. Elihu, Ellis J, Elisha, Job, JB, all this proof of evidence. What does J used to be? What did the B used to be? A name they won't understand, right? All this evidence. And they'll mock me and call me names and all type of stuff. But let Israel resurrect one of these people that know the Torah the most, right? Playing all in cosplay land with no type of receipts, no type of real prophecies. You go on my video, you'll see almost 2 months and added combined times of me giving new prophecies, me revealing old shit, and every single thing I say coming true. And almost 71 poems of the word. Beautiful words. These motherfuckers, I can barely get 300 subscribers. But this Messiah that they was hiding in Israel that leaked for a second, every single video about his name got millions of views. And my name is JB. It's like, it's the book coming to life. It's super fucking ironic. And what makes it even stranger, before I go, because I had the book as a kid, then like around like teenage years, young teen, I went off to the world, was hanging out with friends, cursing, because I was like, no cursing, no earrings, no drink. I was super hardcore. We were super hardcore. Then I started going out to the world, learning, growing, and all type of other stuff. Come back to learn the book and reading it as an adult, and almost every single thing I have done or am doing, or names of friends and family members in that book, all prophecies are part of my life. Every single thing. I think back of certain memories, a prophecy. I think back of stuff that I'm doing right now, a prophecy. It's like, I'm not insane, but it makes me feel insane because I know this shit is real. I know what I'm going through. I know what is happening. And it's like nobody wants to listen or believe me. I have a few people that watch my videos that'll take all the power I'm giving and be happy for it. And it's like still no word or nothing of nothing. You wouldn't even think I exist. It's so funny. So I don't know. I hear people that'll say things with my wisdom and intelligence. This isn't ego talking. I have a deep inception of psychological knowledge. can't say things without people thinking. People say stuff that could initially, as I begin to process the data, send me into spin. So I know other people are and follow along to either not be excommunicated or not be ridiculed. So then stop, process, eat in a way I can adjust, edify for what I need to for the real world, and possibly get feedback and or let that be for me. Right? I don't even remember why I just said that. The Most High burning bush. Anyways, the point is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I guess I'll just keep talking and making stuff come true or having things come true, and eventually somebody that's a high enough voice can hear me. Because a lot of times when people are gone and people try to follow their words and they don't have any real guidance, what did that dude say in that book? While I'm here with you. But I don't. They like grabbing the garment afterwards and acting a nut with it. So I don't. Okay. So I don't know how long stuff like this takes. Maybe I'm just a figurehead for something in the future. I don't even know. The man whose first name is in that book they crucified, and now me. But at least I would say in a progression of things, I guess this is the better fate. I mean, older bro took the. It's ironic because when you think about it, Cain would kind of be like Elijah, because that dude was fiery, and then John the Baptist would be like actually, if you really think about it, essentially Moses would be like Adam. Elijah would be like Cain, because he did what he did and he had the bread, but it became too fiery. So then John the Baptist would be like Abel. And then I am like Seth. And then I called on the name and started the new lineage of man. And on the sixth day, I made mankind in the image of who I am, with the authority of that which I am. I know that may sound confusing for some people. Hopefully it'll be more edifying in the future. Anybody? The reason I'm bringing all this up is because I don't like to toot my own horn, but I seem to have a deep knowledge for things that I can't really understand. I can understand it because I've never been a people person. Anybody that's grown up with me, I've always been on computers. I've always been like what's considered a nerd, watching television or animes or TV. And it's not even just that. My parents, my mom, we were super religious, so I had reading and writing and language and comprehension skills. We were doing Bible quizzes as a kid, reading as a kid, stuff like that. So it already gave me skills in language arts and reading and comprehension. So then not only that, my mom had me all hooked on phonics real hardcore, and reading programs. She didn't really play when it came to the books, so yeah, I was enjoying the pizza, but she kind of made me read all the books and do all this stuff, which is good. I'm happy for that. This isn't like a sad thing. So, of course, as a child, I didn't appreciate it, but now I'm considered what's a scholar. I feel like I'm too long. You're not. It's okay to give yourself reverence. Stop letting people fuck you over. Okay, so I'm like a scholar, what's considered in this day and age, and really intelligent. That's why a lot of times when I hear people talking about African Americans or people of different races, it's like when I see people, when somebody communicates to me and tells me different things, one, there's two types of different people. There's people that just regurgitate information and it feels like a book, or I am actually reading a web page. Or there's people that conceptualize the information that they've learned and then they feed it back with their own knowledge and feedback. Well, see, the thing is, sometimes the knowledge and feedback is edifying. It's always going to be edifying, but sometimes the feedback is helpful and positive, and sometimes it's negative. And when I say positive and negative, the reason I say that is because not all information is edifying, but even if it's not edifying, that's edifying to you that they're not really giving off good information. So, word salads. So what I mean is, somebody could come up to me and start talking about aliens. Well, they could be talking to me about biology and bioluminescence and how biology works. I don't know why I say bioluminescence, but how biology works, how life is possible on other planets, and it's about the parameters of the ecosystem that's developing within the own parameters of the environment. So the parentheses of the environment, lol. So, anyways, the point is, but if somebody were to come up to me and say, the aliens at Roswell, Area 57, we didn't land on the moon, like, and here's the irony on that actually. I guess Elon Musk just came out talking about how he found new information, understanding why the moon landing might be. And see, this is upsetting me because he's the one shooting rockets into the moon. He's taking. I guess there's a space station in space now, which is something I've known, but this is new to a lot of random people. And they've gone to Mars and stuff. So for him talking about the moon landing is fake, it seems really counterproductive for somebody who hires a bunch of scientists and then gets the glory from it to talk about the moon landing being fake. It's irritating. And so once again, like I said before, when people kind of run out of certain things, they put confusion into the air, which then gives them more media, entertainment, and money in different ways. And so yeah, he might be an inventor with innovating new science, but he's also an inventor of stories and news media. Because the same person that keeps saying these advertisers sure spends a lot of time in the media. Anyway, so the point is, like I said, I would be considered really intellectual. Um, I don't like spending a lot of. I like spending a lot of time in social situations, but even if a social situation is boring, and this is what I feel like a lot of children do, what I'll end up doing is kind of creating another type of environment or scenario. So let's say we're on topic with something, but it's super bored, and I've already conceptualized it or understood it, and now I'm just basically waiting for other people to catch up. I may begin to act out or speak on certain things or other things, or give new concepts and scenarios, which seems to upset teachers a lot of times. And that's what I mean when I say everybody's different. And so a lot of times we hinder people by labeling and judging them. We'll say, oh, you're meant for geometry instead of algebra 2. Oh, you're meant for this class instead of that because of previous grades or because of this or that or because you can't sit still in class. Then we teach all these African Americans, spare the royal rod, blah, 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 Germany. And then they end up beating their kids instead of getting slave masters to do it when they get bad negative reports and then wonder why African American students won't sit still. Doy. Because the next time I spank my children because some passive master tells me, oh, spare the rod. Now, if my child does something wrong and I tap their behind, okay. But I'm not being programmed by dumbasses anymore. You see, all my life, not only was I intelligent in terms of, and this is the realm that I don't really like talking about a lot. I'm intelligent. I'm intelligent in terms of knowledge and wisdom, and coming up with new concepts to understand and to perpetuate my knowledge and intellect. I am also really good with the spiritual realm. So anybody who wants to follow along with this, I spoke on this before. There are many types of spirits. If I hold this up, many different people will think many things just based on the image of it. People who smoke weed or are into different things like that may understand instantly and get excited about it. People who quit weed or know what weed is, but don't smoke it, may get a negative thought about it. People who know nothing about marijuana may think something negative like dope or coke, he's smoking off a pipe, stuff like that. And so that's the spirit of something. This brings the spirit of something. This lighter brings the spirit of something. If you ever go camping, maybe you need a campfire. Maybe you need to light candles. Maybe you need to, I don't know, for many different things. People who smoke cigarettes, it might mean something totally different. You know what I mean? So when I talk about spirits in the spiritual realm, what I'm basically even saying to conceptualize and to bring data into play is that we each receive data from some type of source, whether it be internal thoughts, or reacting to external stimuli, whether it be a noise, a phrase, words, a voice, or a vision of something. Photons interacting with the cones and rods in the eyes, sending data to the mind through electric signals, through the synaptic gaps, and different things like that. Whatever the case may be, everything comes from oneself. So I may receive data from the outside light, but I still process it for myself, for my self-use. And so that's why I tell people, if you look at if you look at a graph and a spectrum of visible light compared to UV radiation and X-rays, we can only see a small portion of the universe. And so that's why I tell people, in a realm where as knowledgeable as I am, there could be all kind of stuff going on around us that we can't perceive or see, even sound waves. Dogs can hear certain whistles, but we cannot. Although, can we hear them and just don't perceive them? If you just sit and listen, you may only hear certain things. But if you take a recording and record and then listen to the recording that picks up 100% of the sound, you'll be like, why don't I hear all this background noise? Because your mind doesn't perceive certain things because it could interrupt your consciousness when dealing with survival in everyday life. And so the spiritual realm. Ultimately, I say a spirit is something that you learn or perceive or receive, and then where you go from there. If I talk about Christmas, some people might think, oh, pagan holiday. Some people might, think of cocoa and the fireplace and the Christmas tree and stuff like that. And so different people have different spirits, and that's why it's called the kingdom of the heart or the kingdom of heaven, and why the Most High sits on his throne. Because I am who I am, and only who I am knows when I sat by the tree. Only who I am knows how many girlfriends I've had or wives. Only who I am knows there is none good but who I am. Now, when I say that, I don't want to lead into narcissism and egotistical nature, because then you might become one of the beginning kings like me, Narmer, spread to Babylon with your rod and cane, create something called Enki and Nimrod, and eventually sped back to Africa through Brahma on accident. So, it's just a little teaching about Noah. But anyways, even if you look at history, now dealing back with history, the Africans, Egyptians, and Kushites and different people had things like chemistry or Kemet, Hamitic culture, Nubian culture. And do you know how Brahma and Hinduism gives reverence to cows so they don't kill animals and sacrifice the animals and all that? So did the Africans. That's where they got it from, the golden calf. Research African history outside of some of these. The aliens on the History Channel on the Third Reich at 3 in the morning. If you want to believe that foolishness, but if you want to come back into what's real, so, if I was to go, so even the word God means man of God or to invoke power, from Germanic paganism, Norse paganism. Good, from Germany. Germany is an extension of the Greeks. I promise you it is. Just like Romans went up into Viking land, so did the Greeks. Then you have the French, Romans, and then you have the Germans, Greeks, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really Vikings meeting Germans, if you will, or barbarians meeting Germans, and barbarians meeting Romans. So, another history lesson. Rican is beginning ruler. Africa, forever ruler. Puerto Rican, Spaniards. So, I'm just putting that out there. You got the French, Roman barbarians, and then you got the Spanish and Portuguese, more of like a Semitic African and Rome, if you catch my drift. Latin. So even if you look at Hispanic people and African people, they all come in different colors, all types of colors. And I've said this in a video before. There are whites, there are Caucasian indigenous people in Canada and different places in Europe and different places. I'm telling you there are. Look up indigenous Canadian people and indigenous Native Americans of North. I'm telling you all. So, supremacism isn't just Caucasian. There are a lot of indigenous Caucasians that were caught up in this that kind of looked a little Asian. I told you all Caucasian is lighter Asian. A sect of barbarians and Vikings took over a lot of the world, for anyone who wants to listen to me. So, spiritual realm. A lot of times what people do is they invoke power by using the word God. So what I mean is take all these different powers, just like how they have 99 names for Allah, which is Eliah, which is Elijah, which is L is J. I say Yah, which is I say J. You all can come up with whatever languages and creeds you want to. I have receipts in many of my videos. So, the one who writes with the fire and the stone, untouched by human hands. Anyways, so what I'm saying is, what people are doing trying to invoke power, the Lord Jesus, the Lord God. What they're taking is all your experiences of Jesus and God, all the punishments you know, the rewards you know. Because if I was to come up to you and say, I am blessing you, okay. But if I was to say, God is blessing you, Then everything you know about, like a long receipt, all these things attached to the Spirit of God, the spirits of religions and gods that are on the earth. Then instead of it simply becoming, I am helping you, I am gracing you, I am giving you some money to help you for your hard troubles. Ha 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 ha, lol, on my behalf, I guess, because, anyways, that's not what is important. What's important is when they use words like God and Jesus and big words, they're invoking a bunch of power from the spirit that you've already created or built. Then they're adding to it. And so then instead of having individuals who you know, now you have a big, same thing with racism, black. If I go say this person named James did something, okay. But if I say black people always do this, now I just added a bunch of words to a big collective of a big spirit. Now everybody can jump in and punch on or receive from. Same with God and Jesus and religion. I'm mad, oh God, now it's in a big collective. I'm happy, oh God did it, now it's in a big collective. All these other random people who aren't as smart or as wise take in from this collective and then go do destructive things when they're not guided properly. And so I am trying to avoid that and teach people that I am who I am. I am within. And in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with who I am. My words, my love, my kingdom, my spirit. Now you all follow along and say that too. And I am peace and clarity and light. Other men don't know what's inside of me, just like I don't know what's on the other side and other men. So only who I am can deal with my sins righteously. So I can go get help from other people and guidance, but ultimately, even if they give me guidance, who has to listen to them and perceive that information? If a person comes up and starts speaking Spanish, even if he is the Christ himself, if I don't perceive Spanish, then all of his words are wasted. If I'm an English professor and a physicist comes up to me, then everything he tells me is going in one ear and out the other, even if it's a great innovation in a stride of physics. If I'm a mathematics teacher and an English major comes up and gives me an anomaly with an equation with words dealing with psychology and literature, the mathematician's going to be like, oh, that's a concept. Can I just add something? I don't understand. 2 plus 2 is 4, that's easy. But socialism plus democracy equal republic to where we could, that's 2 concepts. You see the difference? So that's what I mean why you have the power. Because even if they come up and say something, if you don't perceive it, then what does it matter for your kingdom or realm? And if your kingdom or realm is corrupt and you don't receive others, then you're a lover of yourself and not willing to do something for the collective, knowing that there are billions of people here. Israel attacking Palestine at this point, you're like beating a dead horse. We get it. You got the fiery horse. You got him. You got Persia. But I would, Greece, if you would fucking chill. Or is it, no, I'm sorry. Babylon, you got Persia. We got it. We get it. The Babylonian Talmud, Babylonian mysticism and Kabbalism. Like, am I in a joke movie? Is nobody seeing this? So Babylon, we get it. You got him. Nebuchadnezzar, chill. Ahab, call off Nebuchadnezzar. Netanyahu. Pope, call off Netanyahu. We get it. Persia's down. Persia's down. The Greek Christos, if you all have it left in you, the Protestants or the Christianity of the Greeks, could you please help Persia out a little bit? The Babylonians and Romans seem to still be at it. But, I mean, what do I know? I'm just telling you all that I'm trying to be I am on those sides. Take off your sandals when approaching who I am. I'm trying to give you all logic and understanding to the best of my ability. So people are like, then what do you believe in? I am who I am. I am the one. I am who I am. I am the one who binds in Egypt or frees from Greece and Rome, the bondage of Babylon and Persia. You shall have no gods before who I am. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I am jealous. If somebody comes up to you and tells you they're God, something's going to click in your head, and you may think, oh, it's because I'm worshiping the real God. But the real God that's within is like, oh, they playing head games. Time to test. You see what I'm saying? It's a deep psychological thing. You have all been given this book. It's been spread throughout the world, whether it's the Quran, the Torah, the Bible, the Latin Bible, the Catholic Pope Bible. I don't fucking know. And you outside of that, Buddha and Hinduism, you came from Egypt. I have the receipts. The cows and the calves and the animals it came from Egypt. And they didn't worship them. They gave reverence as in they respect. So if I was to come up to somebody and say, I worship the cow god, ha ha ha. No. There were gods and you respected everything. You respected the animals. You didn't just go slaughter red cows and heifers. You respected pigs and different stuff like that. Pigs are evil and you don't eat pork. Like, dude, I'm not going to tell y'all how to cosplay, but thank you for bacon. I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing. We can get into the health aspects, but if you're really going to do that, you might want to shut down every corporation and all these CO2s. Why I'm telling you all, Europe is falling. I'm telling you, in America, if they don't change their ways. Now Germany is taking away licenses and offering people to turn them in for ulterior modes of train travel and transportation. These are videos everywhere. America's cops are beating Caucasians senseless now. If you don't believe me, go watch some audits. The NPCs are bugging, and I'm telling you all to figure it out. You're seeing where the real dictatorship is coming from, and that's why they're accusing others of dictatorship. I heard somebody say, this is just a joke, obviously, because everybody accused somebody of something. But they said every accusation from Israel is a confession. I thought that was hilarious. So Israel, you guys gonna keep marking yourselves with German Nazi names and Egyptian names while you call Germany and Egypt evil? Like, it's pure comedy. So I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from. As I've told you all, I'm but a mirror. And my character and finances and everything else was attacked after y'all gave thousands of years of reverence that when Yahweh returns, that when the Prince of Peace returns, that when all this stuff returns, y'all would build him up to the sky and back and give him his kingdom and allow me to teach and preach and free and redeem what's mine. So, I am not Jehovah. I told y'all, Jehovah is in there. So watch, they'll give all this reverence to truth and respect. And I'm watching people talk about, oh, the British Museum has all the mummies and everything. Like, so you guys dug up people's dead bodies and put them in museums. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. History, So it's African history. Why is it in European museums and Semitic museums? Then the people that could be profiting off of all this tourism, the people that could be profiting off this $400 million diamond and all these millions of diamonds and gold, y'all steal from and call ahs. But even after all these thousands of years of oppression, still getting educated, still fighting and building, and y'all still using trying to build y'all countries because y'all can't handle hot weather and different stuff like that and building stuff like that. But y'all are all in construction. Y'all are not going to keep fucking playing with our names. So, Yashrael, camps, all you camps out there, I am back. But if I say I am back, I'm giving you all the keys to the kingdom of the heart. You're the gods. And not somewhere where it says, oh, we're the younger god. You're the literal walking power, the way you should. How it says, I walked around with, and I did this and that. If I'm Yahweh, and I can do all that, you all are letting people cage you in European religion. How do you think we built all these amazing pyramids and all these amazing things? I'm going to give you one simple concept. Watch this. They knew how to pack the ground, certain waters and stuff to make the sand stick together. Look at how the concrete sand. Then after making it so heavy, because look at sand, when you only sink in so far, because it's like water pressure. There's so much under that it begins to stop after a while. And the pressure from the sand under it packs tight. So you create a bunch of concrete structure, and then you create a mold. And after you create a large mold, you feel it, like filling concretes. And then once you feel it to your liking, whatever structure you build, that could be built out of bamboo or anything like, once the mold is built and you put all the structure in, the stone is there, dirt, the pyramid. Now people will hear me say that and be like, oh, you just think you know it all and that's not possible. I don't care if you like my logic and wisdom and understanding, because they think people are carrying 2,000-pound stones across sand in the desert. How do none of these people that's in Egypt know what I just said or can even fathom these things? Because people can. They want you all to be dumb. If they're traveling to space, they can build pyramids. They're trying to hide knowledge. A good friend of mine keeps talking about the surveillance and the World War III and all that. He's correct. They're keeping people dumb. This is what they're doing. They're stealing intellect and knowledge. Then they'll make you look dumb afterwards. I told you all, Terrence Howard may have blotched a couple of things, but he's saying some smart stuff. Because it's not the fact that Terrence Howard knows something concrete. It's the fact that Terrence Howard can take a concept, bend it and mold it like origami, and create beautiful new art. That's what I'm telling you that they're hiding from you. They take all types of your words and concepts and then create something beautiful under the scenes and make you look like an ass. They do it to all types of people. Many of these inventors were African and of African or Jewish or dark descent. Jewish means Semitic. The true Semitic is from mixing lighter and darker people to create a red-skinned people. I'm telling you it is. In Egypt, when they were all dark, then the Asiatic shepherd kings came in, Philistines and different people like that. Why is everybody named Stein? That's a German word, beer mug. Once lighter people came into Africa, this is before Caucasian, this is Asian now. Once they came into Africa, then you have different types of people. You had Europeans and Neanderthals and Denisovans and Asians long before we all started mixing together again. History has a long past. But when the Great Migration started happening, we started coming back, we started all mixing together again like Neapolitan ice cream. So I just want to give as much information as I can. I have videos, I have receipts. I'm ready to give you all as much love as I can. Different people keep commenting that they love me and that they really appreciate me and that Israel's not going to accept me. My family and my loves for everything that Israel put, every hot coal Israel heaps upon my head, for everything that happens in real time. How many Europeans are caught? First of all, the farmers and the truckers have lost their minds, spreading shit on government buildings since I came out. Kanye and Trump said they love Hitler and are quoting the Mein Kampf since I came out. All these Europeans are getting on camera crying, saying they're looking for the Lord and the Christ is African and probably come from African American. They're the chosen seed now. Now this isn't us being right. At first the Hebrew Israelites are doing it. Now Europeans are doing it. I'm watching them do it. Then the rest of the people that can't handle this information are building small churches and saying, get out of our countries. They know I'm here. They know what time it is. Between Yanez and Juannie and Jehovah and Yahweh, they know what time it is. But how does it say in that scripture? Who I am not has but a little time to confuse people in religious cosplay and steal from my temple and steal money or logic or whatever you want to call it from that which I am. That's why they fear the name I'm using. They fear my actual name. They're trying to get people Yasharel and Yisrael and all that. It's Israel, just like in that book, and that's Israel. From Egyptian, they're telling you they got it from Egyptian steels. Then they'll say Egyptian is a dark African. He looks like lamb's wool. Bronze, like in a front. With the brass of feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else? They'll say he's JB resurrected. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Everybody keeps saying they're the crucifixion. Okay, in your story and timeline, they're going to fuck you up. I'm telling you all who the witness was who dealt with it. And the one who brought the word, Amos and Yehohanan. Which reminds me of William Tyndale and Martin Luther King in this time. But I'm telling you all, the resurrection is power and fire. But everybody wants to be the crucified one, okay? Anybody who wants to follow along and be the ones that rise, understand what I'm telling you. And be blessed and reborn in the spiritual sense and the logical sense. So stay blessed. Continue to build knowledge and information and understand for yourselves. Don't be so quick to let people tell you that the Christ is here, there, and there, all because it's within, and that's what I'm trying to teach each of you. I'm just trying to give you all the keys so you can unlock the doors. You know what I mean? So Stay beautiful and blessed. There's a whole lot of stupid wars going on in political bullshit. Every influencer that's telling y'all this is the final end and these are the years. Go type in YouTube videos talking about how every political season, every president, candidate, influencers, newscasters, this is the end, and this is the most biggest time ever. And if you don't do it this time, and now they're talking about FBAs and 8Os, ooh, there's one influencer I like a lot, but he's showing signs of his Republican ways. And when I say Republican ways, like I keep telling people, getting on camera saying black people are dumb, niggas are stupid, y'all are dumb, fucking y'all want tethered tangibles. Y'all are fucking y'allself over for the future. I'm telling y'all, African Americans have power. Africans have power. All humans do, but I'm telling y'all where almost everything is coming from. And they're trying to take us, our information, our cultural civilizations to build, but they can't. You see what's happening? How for thousands of years Africa was all that. Then the beginning of the Hyksos coming to Africa, not only in this book and in written culture everywhere. Now the world is corrupting and wars everywhere. So, as long as y'all want to keep playing a Mashiach land and go down the rabbit hole, okay. But when they finally acknowledge and understand what I'm trying to tell y'all, Mashiach, where you at? Mashiach, Mashiach, Mashiach. All right. Y'all want to keep following the Greek Pharisees and the Babylonians and the Romans. Stay blessed, stay healthy. And I also tell people I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage, for I am with thee. Perfect love casts out fear, for fear has torment. You can check all this out in the video description. Grace is free, but you finna work for that shit. How about that for an algorithm? For everybody says, it's all about free grace, but works without blah, blah, blah. You are going to have to do something to change, but it's free to do so. So stay blessed. Every African Americans, stop stressing over their political systems. They've told y'all they're not, well, they say we're not getting reparations. Oh, blacks are so dumb, it's our fault. Blacks, blacks, blacks. I keep telling y'all, the black vote is so important. What are y'all planning their fractal for? People like Lucas and everybody else, if you don't vote, you're an FBA dumbass tangibles. Boy, I thought you was Hispanic and Asian. Why don't you go talk about immigration land some more, right? Why don't you go talk about the shit that pertains to you? Because I don't understand why different races keep talking about African Americans and are allowed to do it. But as soon as I say something about Judah, which is where my great grandfather's from, apparently, Polish, right? Then you anti-Semite. It's a mind fuck. So listen to your heart. Because if you keep letting people tell you, don't lean to your understanding, our knowledge is wicked and evil, blah, 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 you're going to let them continue to destroy yourselves and program you. Your knowledge is beautiful and wise if you use it right. I come with 10 laws, no, now 24. I'm just trying to open the door to bring heaven down to the heart, but the racists seem sore. So keep playing in my fucking story, and I'm going to continue to turn you garden gnomes into allegories. I am who I am, and I'm back.